Hello everyone, welcome again to another edition of Sun Dragon Tips and Tricks, Rebecca at home. So today I thought I would, there's Freya, there she goes, tracking stuff outside. I thought I'd let you know what is percolating for me in the knitting and crochet adjacent category in terms of what I'm doing that I'm not actually going to show you any knit or crochet projects today. So if you're tuning in for that, apologies. But there's other cool things I'm trying to work on for the shop and just for my own enjoyment, that this is the mode I get to show you, because this one, well, all of this is linked to my shop. By the way, hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Brevard, North Carolina. Well, the main reason that both this channel and the sideshow, the Sun Dragon sideshow channel, exist is to promote the shop. This is my tutorial channel, and I also get to share with you some of what I'm working on at home. And thanks to everyone who watched my tutorial from last week on, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, on the Make One the left lifting invisible increase from Jennifer Steingass. That was crazy popular, which was awesome. I had plans to bring some knitting home and show it to you because I'm working on my Jennifer Steingass harvester and do a tutorial on color work and color dominance. And that is not going to happen because I had my coach and connect on Saturday and I left it because it was a long day. I left it at the shop. So I'm going to show you some other stuff and mention some other things happening with me and opportunities to work with me. And during the week this week, or maybe next weekend, I do hope to, I'm going to do a live next weekend, but I do want to do that video on color dominance before I'm out of that section of the harvester, which I have about 5 rows left on. Luckily, I've been sidetracked with all these other things, so there's a good chance I'll be there for a couple more weeks, but we've got to see what kind of time I have before or after work to see what I can drum up on that. It's challenging for me to film things during the week with the shop and everything that's going on at the shop. But that is on the docket because everyone has really loved those videos. And so I'll see if I can do that. Okay. Before I get into all the fun things which involve embroidery and fabric, again, we sell some embroidery at the shop. I'm realizing I have another thing over here I gotta bring over to the table so that everything is where I want it to be. Only mild show notes on this side. So we have some cross stitch and embroidery at the shop. We don't have fabric at the shop. This is not, oh, I'm gonna start bringing fabric into the shop. No, do not edit a clip to say that, please. So I want to make some products to bring into the shop that involve fabric. So I organized my fabric stash this morning. Been pulling out some of my quilting skills. I have been wrestling with my sewing machine that is a Kenmore, I don't even know what model, from 25 years ago. I think I have a lot of the kinks worked out in that when it's thick, like with batting and things, I need to use my walking foot. Any fabric people out there will go, duh, but it's been a long time since I've used my machine. Anyway, I'm going to ramble a lot today. Just bear with me. Low energy, doing what I can, life being what it is. Okay, so I have my little list of events that I'm going to get out of the way first. So mildly out of order. I am going to do a live next week because it's the first Monday of the month. It is going to be Labor Day, but September 1st, it's the first day of the month. Instead of doing this pre-recorded thing, I will be live just hanging with y'all from 3 to 4 on my computer. But it'll be a YouTube live for this channel. And I welcome you hanging out and sharing what you're working on and any questions you have and where you're from. It's really just fun to have that experience, I think. So we'll be live next week, September 1st, from 3 to 4 p.m. All times I give you are U.S. Eastern times. All right, that's the free thing I have going on in the next month or so. Then I keep plugging for it. If you would like to work with me and ask specific questions and hang out in a more give and take format, I have been doing the Make Along Coach and Connects, but Coach and Connect is the name of the Zoom sessions we have that are pay Zoom sessions and more focused on getting advice and help from me. And the next General Coach and Connect, and Liz is often at these too. So the next General Coach and Connect, which means it's not based on a certain pattern, it's just whatever you're working on. Come and ask questions and get help. It's $25. It is 2 hours. It's always what we've set up as the last Sunday of the month. And that would be this upcoming Sunday. It's the day before the live. And we're going to hear my Freya making some weird meows in the background. It is August 31st, Sunday, from 2 to 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can buy access through my online website or by being a $25 patron over on Patreon. So that is happening in a little less than a week. And what I always say at the shop when people are like, do a class on this, do a class on that, and they want really specific stuff. In person, I say, don't wait for a class, schedule a one-on-one appointment on what you want to do. And in this format, I would say, don't wait for the lecture series or the free videos, because I don't know if and when I can make those on specific patterns. I know I did it for the ranunculus. It was amazing. Replicating that, I have a whole video on just why that's challenging to replicate. But instead of waiting for a series of videos that will help you with the pattern you're working on, come to the Coach and Connect. $25 for 2 hours worth of help. And as I can, if it's something with specific instructions on a pattern, I will look up the pattern and I will give you my best advice. And it's a really great way to have immediate interaction with me and get help on what you want to get help on. So I do it once a month. More than that, I'm already burning the candle at too many ends, but I love spending time with people and helping them craft. So that is August 31st, and in September, it'll be the last Sunday of the month. So if that ever changes because, my parents are in town or something else goes on, I will give you a heads up. All right. The other thing, I was really excited to announce this, and it's only going to run if we have enough signups. So I want to bring back the lecture series as I can, which was, I call it my master classes in doing a pattern or a certain type of something. Like I've done top-down colorwork sweaters. I've done cuff-down socks, and I did 2-color brioche in a series of lectures that you can attend on Zoom, and you get the recorded copies of them. And it's where I talk a lot and show you a lot, and then you get to ask questions at the end. We are going to do a virtual version of my 2 at a time toe-up sock class that I did earlier in the year with at the shop. It'll include my version of a toe-up sock pattern that I've pulled together from a few different resources and added my own things, mostly working off of a pattern that the shop I used to work at, I was Liz, I was the minion at this shop, the pattern they had that we used, and then I'm adding the things I like about a different toe, a different Turkish cast on to it. It's going to be a 3-part class. So it's going to be $90, and $90 gives you 3 sessions of 2 hours each. So that's 6 hours total of instruction. The dates, it's all 1 to 3 p.m., which is when I've always done my virtual classes, U.S. Eastern Time. The dates are September 7th, September 28th, and October 12th. And it's the 3 parts. We're going to start with the cast on of the sock, 2 at a time. So the cast on of the socks at the toe, and how to start doing the increases. Then we're going to, on the 28th, do the short row heel. And then on October 12th, we're going to meet to talk about best ways to finish off your socks, other types of questions, and wrap up from that. So that is available for purchase in my online shop. And I'm pretty sure I can make sure that the description has the link to purchase that. But that's only going to run if enough people sign up. So there were a lot of people in the past who were interested in that, and maybe the calendar won't work out for those dates, but I got it up there. I was going to do a trip in September, and that hasn't totally worked out. So if I can, in the time between September 7th and 28th, I may do a virtual how to read charts for either knit or crochet, depending on what I get the most interest for, and if I also have those, potentially have some December dates for that. So if you're interested in a lecture series, or it really will only be a single class, be $30 on how to read, kind of a crash course in how to read charts for knitting or how to read charts for crochet, reach out to me, let me know, put a comment below. And who knows, by next week I could have that on the schedule. But I got to know that there's interest in that. That would be on a Sunday from 1 to 3 in the middle of September. So, okay, now to move on. Now that I got logistical stuff out of the way, nuts and bolts. I want to move on to some things I've been working on, and I'm really excited. So yesterday I spent most of the day making a project bag for the shop, or for you all out there. Most, if not all of my bags, except where I have a lot of extra fabric, are going to be one of a kind. And like I said, I've been polishing up my sewing skills, using stash fabric back from when I was into quilting for a hot minute, using some of my quilting experience, and combining some of that. I want to both make some things with my leftover fabric or new fabric I'm getting. I'm trying to only dabble a little in that because, cash flow. But I'm trying to combine it where I can with my newfound love for embroidery. And that is what I spent most of yesterday on, is I had a starter pack of like 4 embroidery kits from Amazon that I at least started, if not finished, while I was on vacation in July. And one of them is now the centerpiece of this bag that I made. So this is the embroidery I did. So it's it's kind of a, the design was stamped on there from this easy peasy kit I got that was fair use. It's not copyrighted to my knowledge. I did the stitch work on this, and so this is the embroidery that I did. And then I had this fun fabric. I used it in place, like on the front, as I whack myself with this. On the front is my embroidery. On the back is the fabric that when I saw it's K-Facet fabric from a long time ago, from 10, 15 at least years ago. And I saw it in my stash and went, oh my gosh, that goes so well with these colors. It's really busy, so I decided to just judiciously use it when I was putting the bag together. And then I have this really cute dark and light blue fabric with little flowers on it. And so I decided to make a border with the corners being the circle fabric. It's also the base of it. I used a whole fat quarter on this bag. Almost every square inch of the fat quarter is in this bag. I might have one more fat quarter. But it's the corners. And then when I boxed it so deep, it's about 6 inches deep, that the corners here, which I think I matched up quite nicely when I was seaming it. The corners here, the top part of it, you can see the corners, and the bottom part, not so much when it's out open. Let me try kind of folding in the bottom. Then you can see the squared off. That was the vision I was going for. And then that it has such a deep box at the bottom so that, you know, your project can go in it. It kind of rolled out these edges. But I got these cute little zippers that I'm not going to be using these on all the bags I'm making, but these cute little zippers that have circle pulls on them, and they have contrasting background and zipper. I really thought that this coral color went nicely with the bag. I'm playing around with the ability to put a wrist strap. So I made the wrist strap. I got this hardware online, and I made my own wrist strap for it. And these are, so some of the bags I'm putting online have a flat thing of our logo. I got these printed on Etsy. It's my logo in black and white, and then stitched by Sun Dragon. And what I really love is I got some, here we go. I got some that you can fold in half, because I'd seen other people do this as their label to have it on the side. And this is the first bag I tried to put that on. I think it all went pretty well. And I've lined it with some, I have a few fabrics I've got tons of, and I just think they make better linings for the bags than pieces for the front. So I'm very excited that I finished this guy, and all the work, it took longer than I thought, but you know, I'm getting better every time I make stuff. All the work plus the embroidery adds at least $50 to every bag. So this one is retailing on my website for $105. And again, these are one of a kind. They are made by me. So it's, you know, if you love the work that we do at Sun Dragon, it's a piece of Sun Dragon. And it's a piece of, I did all the stitching on this part of it too. So this has been really fun. I'm really excited to get this one done. I'm trying to do things of all different sizes, like little notions pouches and bigger project bags. I don't know if I'm going to get into like crossbody with straps and things like that. That's a lot of fabric right now. This is the most I'm dealing with. This guy, just so you know, this guy, because of the box bottom is 8 inches by 6 inches. The height of this is about 12 inches high, and the width at the top is about 13 inches across. So it's a decent size. Like, I have it listed under the medium bags because the large bags are ones that are a little bit wider than this, but this is like a decent, almost sweater size project bag. So I am hoping to have a bunch of bags that don't have the embroidery, so they'll be a little more cost effective. They still will have my hard work going into them to sew them. But I wanted to show you some of the fabric that I either have purchased or I have left over in my stash that I want to make bags out of that won't necessarily be quilted. I like pulling together the different fabrics from my stash to make some really neat quilted bags. But these are gonna have linings and batting, like they're gonna have backing to be thicker, kind of Vera Bradley like, but without the fancy name and, you know, without the mass production. I might be putting some quilting lines on them for texture. I've done freeform, like going woo with a freeform foot, like once or twice in my life. I don't know if I feel comfortable trying to do that on these bags, but we'll see. Keeping with the Sun Dragon theme, I did find this really cool. So this is the one purchase of fabric I have made. I found this really cool rainbow fabric, dragon fabric on Spoonflower. And so I got it with both the white back to it, and let you see that full-fledged, like, whoa. I want to make some bigger bags, like small, medium, large. I don't know. I only got a yard of each fabric, so we'll see what I'm able to actually make with this. I also got, the same rainbow with black behind it. Oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. I'm very excited. So these would be bags that I will make out of a single piece of fabric, but still box the corners and all that kind of stuff. And the ones that don't have embroidery on them, right now, the small size is running about $30, the medium size $45, and the large is I think closer to I want to say $60 or something like that. That might be a little more than $60 in the large. Depends on how much fabric is used. So so keep that in mind for these. Also for the ones I'm about to show you next, because I had forgotten that back when Hancock Fabrics was in business and I was doing a lot of fundraising for cystic fibrosis. My niece has cystic fibrosis. I still think I might be putting a portion of the proceeds from this next set of fabric, if I make things out of them, towards CF research and things like that. Because, okay, the nickname for cystic fibrosis, I could do a whole lecture on what that is and what it means for people who have it. But the nickname for cystic fibrosis is 65 roses because it's easier to pronounce. There's a story that a child, his parents were having this heartfelt discussion and emotional, and he said, I know what you're talking about. They were trying to keep from him back when life expectancy for CF was was child and not much, no one was living to adulthood. He said, hey, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about 65 roses, because that's what his brain heard when he heard the word cystic fibrosis. So that's become the nickname for CF. And when my niece was born, she is 16 now. When she was born 16 years ago, life expectancy at best was 30 years old. And I was about 30, and I was like, to imagine that she was only going to live to the age I was then was really hard for me. Now life expectancy is in the 40s or longer. There's been great advancements. Cystic fibrosis affects your lungs, and it affects, trying to dismiss a call trying to come in. It affects your digestive system. And Sarah's is much stronger in the digestive system aspect. She has to take enzymes before every meal because she doesn't produce enzymes to digest her own food. But most people, that would have been like failure to thrive when she was a kid if she'd been born a few decades earlier. Most people who survive that period, it's lung infections, and I got a lot of spam calls coming in. It's lung infections and scar tissue in the lungs and that kind of thing that is really detrimental to people with CF. So that's what more people out there know about, is the lung part of it. Anyway, I used to do all kinds of things to raise money. I used to crochet roses. I used to do the walks and everything. Being a small business owner, it's been really hard to do that. But I'm still happy to take part of the proceeds of things I make with this fabric that I have in lots of colors and donate, say 10% to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So it'll be the same price as other bags of this size with single pieces of fabric. And I have some scraps left over. I already started like a couple of my Notion pouches that I might have showed off in past weeks are using scraps left over from this, but I'm going to make single piece bags as I can out of what I have of this fabric. So, but when Hancock Fabrics had this, I bought as much as I could back then. I probably bought 3 to 5 yards of each fabric, of each color. And I'm not sure what I have left, but you know, so this is the classic red. This is, you know, when you think of roses, most people think of red. They're all kinds of colors, but I've got red. While supplies last, I could potentially take commissions of colors, but since I don't know how much I have left, I can't put that up on the website. You'd have to contact me and we'd have to work out an order like over email or phone or something like that. But okay, so I've got the red. It's really pretty. There's 2 different shades of pink. There is a light pink and there is more of a fuchsia pink. And you can see, like, I've got a ton of this for right now. But again, since it's the Rose Bouquet by Meliss, M''Liss. I don't even know if I can find this anywhere anymore. I've got yellow. I have green. These are all so beautiful. I'll probably start by making like a small and a medium. If there's enough fabric, a large. I've got blue. I feel like just feeling the bulk of it. I don't know if I have a ton of this blue, but the blue is really gorgeous too. It could be that they didn't have as much of that, or I just made things out of it. I've got purple. And I've got white. Believe it or not, you know, it's like if you see the back side of it, it's very faint, but the white, it's there, right? It's very subtle. Don't get this one dirty, but no. So this is most of what I have over a yard of. Like I have a yard of this stuff. If it's popular, I'll make more. But that I'm trying to use up stuff I already have. And, I've got a lot of fat quarters of really beautiful stuff that if someone commissioned me to make a bag, I'd be happy to do that. We'd have to negotiate price and stuff like that. But I love that I now have project bags to keep all my stuff organized. So, or I can start making more for myself. Okay, so let me get into some of the other stuff. Like embroidery kind of leads me to showing you how my samples for the shop are going in embroidery and cross stitch, and then showing you some embroidery of what I've been doing on my own, which could end up in a bag, and some of the plans I have for the future that if it brings me joy, I'm gonna do it. So all right, so I have Jessica Long embroidery at the shop that I've gotten in from one of our distributors. And this is the one we've got. These are up in the online shop, by the way. I got these up. This is the one that I was going to do for the shop, and I wanted to show you how it's going. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I got the birds and the tree trunks done, and now I'm working on the different colors of the leaves, and it's really fun. So this one's really cool. She has so many pretty ones. If you'd like to try, like the fabric is a really nice fine embroidery fabric. They're little needles that come with it. All of the yarn that you need comes with it. I find most kits will have leftovers. This comes with the hoop too. So when I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna cinch up the back and put it on display in the shop so people can see what fun they can have. And she has great help videos. So that's how my autumn birds from Jessica Long is going. I should be able to get this done before autumn. And we have more of these in stock now. We had just a few and they sold out. We've got more. So that's been fun. The other company we brought in is the Awesome Pattern Studio that I came across through one of my distributors. And Jessica Long is US based. These guys have a Chicago distribution or Chicago hub, but the designs come from Ukraine. And I picked this one to do for the shop because I kind of love this painting by George Seurat. And it's been really fascinating to kind of like come to know the colors that they chose based on the colors of paint he used. And haven't made it. I've cross stitch is a little more tedious. Here is how mine is going. And you can see the little girl in the center and the people with their umbrellas. But here's the little girl that is right there in this. The girl in the white dress is coming along. It's fun, but this takes a while. I like more of feeling, it's like I'm painting with this one with thread. This one, it's more like the little gem painting, you know, it's gonna look really cool when it's done. But these are online as well, so you can check those out. And then I got a whole bunch of kits off of Amazon. Yes, I got things from Amazon. But one of the things with the things I'm getting from Amazon is I feel like the artwork involved is more free, not just personal use. It's more like, not free. I paid for it. But there isn't as much copyright or trademarking on it in a way that I would feel uncomfortable putting it in a product I'm going to sell. So the things that we got into the shop, I am making as samples for the shop. They will not go on bags because it's someone else's design. And so are these others that I'm doing, but it's a little more loosey-goosey, or I feel a little better about using these in potentially project bags and things that I'm making. So, so I made this guy. You can still see the ring. I haven't ironed him yet to get him ready for a bag, but this was a dragon, you know, very Chinese New Year dragon that I got offline and got online. The offline, the terminology that's entered into our lexicon is so crazy, but I got it from the interwebs, you know. And then, but I did all the stitching myself. There's a few spots that I just decided to jump huge amounts, but when it's backed with the batting, that will all be covered. But that's what my back looks like in case you're interested. This was a lot of satin stitch, a lot. Oh my. And I got bogged down in it at first, and then I just settled into a rhythm, and I really love how it turned out. So that will be going on a bag. Probably a pretty big bag because that's a pretty big, dense embroidery. These are a couple others that are in progress. And this little guy is going to be birds with fall foliage. Like, this is the yarn that goes with this, I think. No, this is the thread that goes with the next one I'm going to show you. So this is not as full and shouldn't take me as long. And some of the leftovers I might use for another project. But this is one that has been kind of sitting by the sidelines while I was bouncing back and forth between these two. And then I got into this a lot. So this one has taken a pause. But that's got little birds and things on it. Some of the bird things may end up being Christmas presents because my mom and dad really like birding. So I got a series of butterfly ones with flowers, and so I'm working on a butterfly. I'm really enjoying this one. It's going to be so pretty. This will probably go on a bag as well. And you can see what the stamp is like before it's filled in. Keep track of that as I work on them. That's the one that this yarn goes with. This yarn thread goes with that. And then I had an idea. I got some embroidery fabric with nothing on it. And I'm looking for my drawings. Okay. This came from, I have some water soluble printer, like sticky fabric stuff that you can stick on fabric. I'm sure there's a word for it. It's not interfacing, but I was getting some of that because one of the embroidery kits I got on my vacation had, you put the sticker on and you stitch it, and that I'm going to work on at some point and show you all. And we got some printable sticker fabric, stickers for fabric, you know. You all know what I mean, right? Go with me on this. And I still am probably planning on doing this of printing out like our shop logo, a few other things if people wanted to do their own embroidery, because Robin gave me all these ideas. Shout out to Robin. We love spending time with her. She's in California. We spent a lot of virtual time with her. We have met her in person once. She's lovely. And she is planning on potentially doing some embroidery or something of the shop logo. And I was like, ooh, what if other people want to do it too? Could we help them with that, with some printouts and things? And Robin also raised the idea of, or told me about her method is to use a light box and trace it onto the fabric. And we sell these. They're not online yet, but I think we have one left in the shop right now. This is this ultra thin light pad from Peter Popper Press. And it's super thin. It's plugged in. So you can't really tell, but it is lit up right now. And so I use that just before filming. And I just put it down and turned on again, to take a couple of my drawings that I've done over the years of the shop logo. And this was last year's pin. Like I make a pin or sticker every year. This is this year's about surviving the storm. Might do this one eventually too, but I'm going to start with these guys. Tried to make them the right size. I haven't decided yet. But I traced them onto some embroidery fabric that I bought. Can you see that? Traced the basic design, the basic elements of my logo, and the Dragon Treasure one that I did a couple years ago. Not, well, it's last year. It was 2024. I have traced those onto with just a 2B pencil. I've traced them onto fabric. I did it in the corner so that maybe I can use the rest of this for something else if this works. I didn't make this guy huge. I could make him bigger, but I was thinking about what if I could embroider him and hand embroider him and put him on a bag. It would definitely be more of a collector's item level thing. But I'm really excited to try this out, because I'm also thinking if I enjoy this, I don't know if I will. Our town is known for white squirrels, and I could do some white squirrel embroidery. And I'm hoping it will be soothing for me. And then if people actually do want to have a memento to take home, it's money making for the shop. But these are all, I have had the whole ponderance with you all of like trying to make a living off of your handicraft is really hard, if not impossible. And all of this is stuff that I'm doing to soothe my soul. And if people would like to purchase them and take them home, awesome. But if they don't, I still have really wonderful things that can just be mine then if they don't sell. So I'm not looking to turn this into like its own business necessarily. But the Stitched by Sun Dragon is going to be available. And I just, it actually inspired me to clean up my sewing room that I set up years ago on the off chance I might actually get to my sewing machine again someday. And now I have, so yay. It's helping me reclaim some of my time when I am not working. And that's a challenge for me. The idea of having on time and off time, and being a small business person, it's hard enough to have off time. And then what I do, the reason I started the shop is the thing that I enjoy doing that de-stresses me, but then that's what I do at home. So this is still shop adjacent, but I'm really enjoying exploring these other things. And I'm by no means an expert at embroidery or quilting or making bags. This stuff I'm all kind of learning as I go. But I wanted to share that little side adventure with you all. I feel much more comfortable giving advice on the knit and crochet versus this other stuff. And I've had comments from y'all and I appreciate them. I feel like on this one, I had seen about covering the zipper ends before someone mentioned it on this channel, and I feel like those are going a little better. I don't have things as jammed in. They're not perfect. They're not gonna be perfect, but there was a decent amount of work that went into them. So let me know what you think of all this in the comments. If you can, keep it loving. If you're really not liking it, you know, that's okay too. You don't have to yell at me too much about it though. So I'm always ready to address questions if you have them about knit and crochet, because that is more of my area of expertise that I want to help everyone out with. But this is my adjacent stuff that that will all support everything. And I hope to get back to both showing you progress on stuff, if hopefully I make some progress on stuff with all these other side tangents. Making progress on any one thing is going to be, this is going to slow down a little bit. I think that's okay though. I'm always telling everyone else it takes as long as it takes. So I need to be taking a little more of that advice myself, perhaps. A reminder again here at the end that next Monday is going to be our YouTube Live. If I said Facebook Live before, hopefully I didn't. YouTube Live is next Monday from 3 to 4 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. It's this channel, and this channel is a YouTube channel. So next Sunday, the day before, is going to be General Coach and Connect. It's $25 to gain entry. If you're not a Patreon member at that level or higher, you can always purchase a one-time entry on our online shop site, Sundragon's shop site. It should be in the description. And the virtual, I always have to like remember and think about this hard. The virtual 2 at a time toe up sock class begins September 7th. If we have enough people signed up. If not, the later sessions of it will not happen either. And I may be advertising for something else, and that's okay. I find those are all really great options to one-on-one engage with me. And I'll answer questions as I can. In-depth stuff, I'll kind of say, hey, that's for a General Coach and Connect. And what we can address, we'll do in the live. So come to that. We're still celebrating the 8-year anniversary of the shop, and there's still 1 week left to enter into the giveaway that we're doing. I'm going to be pulling prizes for that during the first week of September and contacting people who've won yarn giveaways. I might be adding in, I keep saying might, so I'll have to offer it. I'll have to. Some one-on-one coaching sessions, either in person or on Zoom, that we can work out the details of at a later date if you win it, and some discount codes for shop purchases. So I think all of that is really fun and really exciting, and I'm so excited that the shop has been in business for 8 years, and this channel is over 20,000 subscribers. That is like so amazing. And that I've paid off the loan I took out to start the business is so amazing. There's so many good things right now. Trying to focus on the positive, and may your crafting be filled with joy and confidence. That is my mission and my goal, and why this channel exists. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.